Hello, you beautiful people. Welcome back to the West Ham Save. My name's KC Sports. And when we last left off, things weren't going well. But that's what I want to start on dynamics because everything's looking pretty good here. If we start off, club atmosphere, excellent, team cohesion, and manager support, both very good. And of the 27 first team players we have, all of them are considered to be very happy. Lots of similar ages, good friends, lots of similar nationalities. And you can see down the squad, we've got a decent mix of French players, Spanish, Portuguese, obviously a fair few English. So things on paper should be going pretty well, but how has it been actually? So there was a way I fixed this. I can't. I so much prefer it like this. So we left off all the way back here when we had just drawn 1-1 against Bournemouth, and there was definitely a case to be concerned. And we'd then go on to lose 1-0 to Bayern Munich, a 91st minute goal by Leroy Sané. And that really broke my heart because I felt like that was a great opportunity to start things out. Thankfully, we were bounced back, a 1-0 win over Southampton, a very good goal by Kudus, and we just held on defensively. And I thought, again, this is going to go perfect. We're going to be very good defensively. We overcame Shakhtar 4-1. Goals from Christensen, Ferguson, Bowen and Rakov. That front line, again, doing exactly what I want, where every single player can come in and be a genuine threat. We've got 6-7 players there who I can trust to score a goal on any given night. And that would show again, a 3-0 win over Leicester. Goals from Neves, Torres and Ferguson. So again, Ferguson definitely starting to get in the goals. And Pau Torres, who we said could well have, 5-6 goals in his locker this season, finally gets on the scoreboard. And that would come again. The very next game, we would win 2-0 against Villa. It arguably could have been more, but you can see we're very happy to just kind of sit back. And so, in 3 games in the Premier League, we've scored 6, conceded 0, won 1-0, 2-0, 3-0. Perfect. But we did lose just before this, a 1-0 loss to Sofiane Diop. And to be honest, it came because the team is a little bit weak right now. We have injuries to 3 key players. Anatoly Trubin pulled his calf muscle and is out for 3 weeks. Mohamed Kudus is slightly injured, going to return. We also are without Ruben Neves, who's going to be out for a week thanks to training. And last, but most certainly not least, Evan Ferguson is going to be out. He was injured on international duty. Was injured for 5 weeks, now only 2 weeks. Speaking of international duty, I did have my first run with England, and it was the World European League. So we beat Sweden 2-1. We then lost to Portugal 3-1, and we made a change to another back 5, and we beat Czechia 3-0. But a 0-0 draw against Portugal when the team was just getting a little bit ran out. 4 games in what was essentially 1.5 weeks. You can't be too upset when we draw 0-0 to Portugal. We didn't do bad, but we definitely could have done better. And there was a little bit of an inquest. I'm not too worried. Again, it matters very little to me. And I'm hoping that things kind of work out well. But that leaves the squad in a pretty tough predicament as to who is going to be our replacement. So there's a couple of options. Obviously, Suchek and McTominay are there. I've recently been using Mohamed Kudus a little bit. There's also, of course, the option of David Otto, who David Otto hasn't played much, but that's not to say he maybe shouldn't. However, I'm going to go to something which is a little bit more familiar. James Ward-Prowse is going to be the deep line playmaker, and Benny Boy is going to get a rare start in at right back, leaving the squad looking like this. Stefan Ortega has to deputise in goal. We're going to have Victor Christensen, Pau Torres, Diamande and Todibo. Pretty consistent lineup. And usually James Ward-Prowse will be here, and that has been our back 5 pretty much all season. For now though, Benny Boy. Fabinho has found his spot now as the ball-winning midfielder in a double pivot. There's a little bit less reliant on him to defend everything, and obviously a very strong defence behind him. James Ward-Prowse is going to deputise in that deep line playmaker role, which, if you remember from the 4-2-3-1 days, he's very good in this position. Florian Wirtz is finally back and firing, and he's going to be operating on the left wing. Brunani also back from injury, is going to be on the right, and Petr Rakov leads the line. And as you can see, Ferguson 9 starts, 1 appearance, 4 goals, average rating of 7.02 in his last 5 appearances, 6 substitution appearances, 4 goals for Rakov, and a 7.1 in his last 5 games. So clearly that offense is working very well. But we will be facing Chelsea today, who are all the way in 6th, only the 2 points ahead of us. So a win here, and we can start really bouncing up the league. Whilst we're 9 points off the top, Liverpool have won 7 of their 8 games. So I'm not going to worry too much about that, as you'd expect their form to kind of begin to level out. We often do see Liverpool or Manchester City tend to go on a very long, 100% record or thereabouts, and then towards the end of the season, once competitions start to pile up on them, they begin to kind of falter. And that is honestly where we tend to hit our best form, is that midway through the season, coming into the last sort of 5 or 10 games, and then again, similar to Liverpool and City, we tend to falter once we hit like the semi-finals and quarter-finals of our cup competitions. We also want to keep an eye on Everton as we face them right after this game, and they're definitely, that to me at least, is the most important game of this episode. I really want to win something, and even if it is just a League Cup, I want to at least have my name on that. Romeo Lavia out wide to Leo Abada, big fan of him. Looks for Nick Jackson, headed over the bar. Now we need to defend the best we've ever defended. Usually Trubin, a very solid player, great goalkeeper. Pau Torres, and that is 3 in 3 league games in a row for Pau Torres. A huge moment. He is hitting his goal scoring form right when we needed him most, to be honest. James Ward-Prowse with another assist from a corner. It's that near post. It stays being very overpowered the last 3 to 4 years of FM now. Where it's obviously quite easy to hit that near post. Very, very going to under-hit that, which is why it works so well. That was a great first half, I've told the boys. We move into the second half, 1-0 up, one shot on target, 11 XG, and we are leading, and that's what matters. I'm more than happy right now to be a very difficult and dogged team, as long as we get the points. But it's a corner kick in a sane spot. Reece James in, and headed away by Rakov away from Kanate. Back in, Bunani got a touch to it, but forced to Chilwell over the crossbar. Chilwell very desperate to prove that he should be in the England squad, as we only actually had one traditional left back in Luke Shaw. So we need to make some changes, because Wirtz, Bunani and Rakov are all pretty, they're all struggling quite a bit. So Gonçalo Borges and Jared Bowen is going to come in. I'm going to stick with Rakov for now. I'm going to become a little bit more cautious. Actually, I'm going to go defensive. Just try and hold on to this lead as best we can. I'm going to stick with Ward-Prowse whilst I still can, and bring George Eleni Kenya on. With just a few minutes left to go here, we're doing a very good job of holding on to this lead. It's exactly what we want to be. So it is going to be the introductions of Souček and McTominay, a brand new midfield, to try and just outrun the opposition. And that's of course one of our main goals, to just be very good physically. And it looks like we're going to take a victory, 1-0 win, thanks to Pau Torres, our only shot on target the entire game. That is perfect. Now you may want more highlights or whatever else. Let me tell you right now, I can't ask for a better game. It's my favourite type of game, where nobody gets a chance and there's just that one little sniff and you take the advantage. It's exactly the reason we brought in Pau Torres, was the feeling that he was going to be such a threat early from set pieces. So we'll be back for the Carabao Cup 4th round against Everton, and let's see if we can keep a very good run of form still going. And we're back, and I hate my life. Petr Rakov out. He's not going to be out for much, but he's out just enough where he can't really play today. It's just, it's exactly what I wanted. Yay! Ferguson's also nowhere near close to coming back. I'm so sorry. But Ruben Neves can come on for David Otso. I think it's just going to move permanently. Him and Ollie Scars going to be permanently 21s until further notice. Actually, going to bring Claudio Echeverri on into the squad. And I'm going to make him... No, I'm going to stick with Kudus up front. Florian Wirtz, you go up front maybe? No, I'm going to stick with Kudus up front. Okay, so this is going to be the squad. I think this is the best squad I can put out for right now. And again, remember, these guys beat Manchester City. So, I'm definitely not I'm nowhere near confident. We also struggle against these types of teams. I'm going to believe in us though. We have back-to-back games against Everton, by the way. So if I lose this and win the Premier League tie, I'm going to flip my lid. One or not day, someone I looked at signing has already scored. I'm going to look at the Everton formation. They have who's this? Russell Bailey. A young regen who's came through the squad. Hey, I love that. I think that's the first regen we've really seen play. Danny Namaso leading the line. He was someone I nearly called up to the England squad. So he's going to try and prove himself. Same with Zagana, Godfrey, Brandwaite. Pickford never got a game for us. So all these guys may play better just because they want to get into the England team. I don't know if that's really a thing in FM, but I'd hope it is. We might be a little bit too far away from the microphone there. Danny Namaso's moved to the right. McNeil with an injury. They brought on Beto, and I feel like that has improved their squad. Certainly in terms what we're weakest against, that's definitely strengthened the team. The kind of it's not Jon Dahl Thompson, is it? Who's their manager? Someone like that keeps on just keeps making these small changes, but they're really annoying because I'm trying to keep an eye on what I might need to look out for. Ward-Prowse's fitness isn't great. McTominay's going to come in, and I'm going to bring on Echeverri to that left-hand side. This is only his second appearance for us. I'd like to see him really break into this squad. I understand that it's quite tough for him. And Jared Bowen's also going to come in on that right-hand side. Got two more changes, and here it is, Echeverri. Goes for goal. Forces a good seal as a Pickford from a pretty impossible angle. There's only a couple of changes really. So Fabinho and Kudus are really the only two options. Bowen in. Brandwaite couldn't quite clear it, and Tadebo's header very easy for Pickford. We're definitely having the better of the game, but neither of us having a great game, if that makes sense. I'm going to change this to low crosses, see if that helps out at all. Low crosses are the best type of crosses in this game, but yeah, not much happening. So Fabinho off for Souček, which is obviously a change I'm very comfortable making. And I'm going to bring George Elenikenyia on up front. I said this was going to be his breakout year. He's had a couple chances, yet to score. He's definitely threatened goalkeepers, but he doesn't quite have that finishing touch yet. Oh no. Namaso at the back post, heads over. I was very worried there. Danny Namaso is very good in that sort of aerial range, despite being a winger. But a final highlight of the game, it will be Bowen in. Oh my god! Pau Torres has, for the second time in 2 games, been the difference factor from a corner kick. I think everyone expected this was going to penalties or something along those lines. But yet again, Pau Torres pops up from a corner kick and we win 1-0 with 7 shots on target today. But that was the first time we really threatened anything towards the goal. That's a great goal to score, I've got to be honest. I'm very, very happy with that moment. And we do progress through in the Carabao Cup. Now, I will say, with only 14 minutes, I think it's fair we maybe do one more match, another rematch against Everton, and see if, this can be everyone's option to see, are we actually going to be a better team? Because, are we still going to win? That's what I'm trying to say, really. I'm just thinking about a lot of things. But we're so often in FM, you'll beat them and then the next game you'll lose. I'm not going to bother No, we will pause. But yeah, very, very happy with that. 2-1-0 wins, both from Pau Torres. Like, that's literally the reason why I brought in Torres, was like, he'll be great defensively, and we are just kind of travelling through into this Everton game. He'll be great defensively, but he'll offer so much up front from those set pieces. And let's see this draw for the Carabao Cup. Let's see. So, the options are Brighton, Nottingham Forest, Chelsea, Sheffield United, Fulham, Southampton, Manchester United and West Ham. So the only teams you'd argue are actual threats to us are Man United and Chelsea. So if we can have one of them face the other, and we are the first name out of the hat, who are we going to face? Manchester United. Well, Sheffield United will have a game against Chelsea. And so Brighton will face Fulham. Nottingham Forest will take on Southampton. So either way, you'd say, if we progress, we've got a 50% chance, we've got a 75% chance of facing one of the weaker sides. But we had a very good chance there of not facing Manchester United. That's a bit frustrating. We definitely, of course, that's for the quarterfinals. The semi-finals would have been perfect if we'd have had Chelsea versus United in that draw. We'd have gotten, say, Southampton, then Sheffield United. That would have been so good. You'd say that's a pretty good chance for the final. The Shaman have lost in the FA Cup, and gutted. I can't believe the annoying thing is with that loss, of course, everyone betted against the Shaman to lose because they told us. We just paid 50p and they told us, yeah, we're losing. Terrible times. Horrible insider trading going on in the lower rounds of the FA Cup. Now though, the team is looking slightly stronger. We're still not great. Definitely a couple issues. But I can now finally bring in Ruben Neves back to the squad. I can also have Trubin back in. So Gonçalo Borges is an option to take out, and I am. And I'm also going to take... There's a couple options there. I'm going to take McTominay out. Ben Johnson's fitness isn't great, so he's going to swap around. We'll Prowse on that right-hand side. And this is essentially our main squad, all besides Kudus and Ortega. I don't see... Maybe we drop McSauce there for Anel. We bring a Guard off for Anel. So if we were to actually make the squad, I'm sure a lot of people hate the fact I just put it around. So goalkeeper, centre back, left back, right back, holding midfielder, deep line playmaker, left winger, right winger, striker. I do plan it out. I just don't like to make it all organised because it looks weird. In my head, at least, it looks weird to have like a very organised bench. You never see that in real life. I know, I'm weird like that. I've got ACD in making things messy. Don't ever bring that name up. Imagine if he was in this squad. We would be so much worse. I've just been thinking then, like, there was no way I'll play this tactic if I had Messi. Because he couldn't play in that Neves role. Anyway, we've gone straight into the game. Bunanoni's not done much, but still trusting him. Neves, I thought that might have been a penalty. Kudus wins it. Bunanoni! Goal! Oh, I panicked then. Badruddin Bunanani makes it 1-0. I think that's his... Yeah, it is his first ever goal for us. I'm glad you've got to see it. It wasn't the prettiest goal, I'll admit that much. Kudus just kind of like walked and we won it. But that's great. Hopefully that's going to raise his confidence and he's going to play to his very best. However, immediate corner, Garner in. Pau Torres just heads away. He's been a great sign. I think he's been our best signing of the season. And Ortega calmly collects that. I think he was a very smart signing. The willingness to lose two keepers to bring in someone who is a bit more consistent in terms of like play style. Not necessarily in goal. Ortega's good, but I wouldn't call him consistent. But he is used to playing. There's Diamande at the back post. And he makes it 2-0. Yeah, I wanted someone who would be better on the ball, and would basically, because he's better on the ball, we're not going to have to make as many saves Galini, we often saw, would be making tons of saves because we wouldn't have as much possession compared to when Trubin was in. And he's had 3 clean. Like, this is his 3rd game here. He's not conceded in the last 2. And here is Brunanani. Comes forward. Still driving a good save from Pickford. That is... So you've not really seen much of Leonard Kane yet. That's exactly how he plays. He has all the physical attributes and break past players. And at the very end, he can't quite score. But that's a great 1-0 lead. And we just need to try and do exactly what we did in the Carabao Cup. And just hold on to this and try and create set-piece opportunities for the likes of Pau Torres, Todibo and Diamande. We can also say the likes of Fabinho, who hasn't had to do much from set pieces, he's also a threat if he pops up here and there. First chance of the second half though is Everton. Danny Namaso on this left hand side finds Francis Coquelin, falls to Amadou Onana, Furyk, and Chris Furyk makes it 1-1. Well, we didn't keep that clean sheet. I thought we might, but Everton have been knocking on the door, and it finally came there. So, do we just stick with kind of what's working? Well, what I would say is Nevesh's fitness is struggling. Before we go into that, corner kick, Ward-Prowse in, Christensen not quite. Darwin headed by Nathan Patterson, Brunani, Kudish. This is good. Christensen, go on, put a cross in. Lays it back to Torres. Kudish once more. Calmly to Diamande. Neves. Oh, that's a lovely pull at the top. Brunanani collects. Finds Ward-Prowse. Back into Brunanani. Neves. See, what a block. Wirtz, Christensen, and Furyk's there. Well, that will be the last highlight we see of Neves as Johnson comes in. I'm also going to take Florian Wirtz off for Echeverri. Wirtz not having a great game today. And straight off of that is a highlight. Christensen to Echeverri. Ward-Prowse. Some nice changes there. Brunanani at the back post. Johnson, the other substitute. That's our Benny boy. He makes it 2-1. A lovely goal there. Very good recycling of play. And some very smart substitutions and tactical moving. And we go 2-1 up against Everton. And now we have to hold on. Very good goal. We've definitely took back momentum in our favour. But right as I say that, Everton in, headed away. Furyk back in. Oh no. Aït-Nouri, the third substitute. After 2 superb substitutions, they're checking for a possible penalty that's always going to be given. And it will be Furyk, who already scored 1 against Stefan Ortega. Ortega to keep us in this. And he powers it down the middle. 2-2 with 10 minutes left to go. We need to make some changes. Scott McSauce, he always has a goal in him. And the last change will be Brunanoni off for Jared Bowen. Bit of fresh legs on the wide areas. We're going to go attacking and demand some more of this team. I want to win this game. Winning is so integral to everything. If you look at the league table right now, it's pretty close. So not having a win hurts so much more. You know, those 2 points have become so important. Got our wing backs now being attacking, and we have a highlight. 3 minutes of regulation time. There'll likely be about 4 or 5 minutes of injury or stoppage time. And it's Ward-Prowse on the ball, out wide to Aït-Nouri, looking to make up for the penalty. McTominay, it goes into the hands of Pickford and out for the corner. Bowen will take. Namaso's came off for Beto. Bowen, he knows exactly who he wants to aim towards, headed away by James Garner. Ward-Prowse back to Bowen, very nice. And jab Bowen's offside. That is not very nice, that's very evil. Free kick. Can we get like some high pressing? That's the only real thing I can think of. Is it from this free kick, Bowen just latches on to whoever gets above Vitaly Mikhailenko. No, it's Amadou Onana. McTominay, there we go, high pressing. Onana wins it back though. And that is the end of the highlight. It's 5 minutes at a time. Would there be one last highlight? No. But I will say this. It wasn't like it was unfair. A 2-2 draw is definitely a fair result. And compared to the Carabao Cup game, completely makes sense. But that's all for today. If you enjoyed this, like and subscribe. It also helps other people to find this channel. And I want to start to... I've finished the script for my the start of my next save, like the intro. Finished that script. I've got the ideas. If you want to have a little guess, where are we starting? What's the idea? I doubt you will get it, but I'd love to know. Even if you don't want to guess the exact teams, whereabouts, what country, what league do you think we're going to be starting in? But that leaves this episode with us in 5th place. Not bad, still pushing for top 4, but we are already 11 points off of Liverpool with only 10 games played, with 11 points off of top. So we're going to have to go in a superb run of form. In terms of the Champions League, we're all the way down in 19th, but this league is very quick to change and a couple good wins. We of course yet to reach the FA Cup, but the Carabao Cup quarter-finals will likely be our next episode all the way down here, right in the middle of December. So we're going to be skipping a decent chunk of football, but we'll be back in time for Manchester United and West Brom probably, and then probably head into this double header here. Thank you all for watching, and